Facebook group.
Okay.
Welcome, Dana. Great to have you on the call. I'm just schmoozing, Knolly. I'm just make sure you make me a host. And
Artemis, you're sharing your screen. Take your screen off screen share.
that's Joanna.
Oh, can you let me can we
somehow Joanna was sharing?
I'll do that if I can figure it out. I have to do my first Zoom presentation today, and I don't know how to do this yet. So
oh, Joanna's doing her second Zoom presentation.
My first one. I'm going to be doing my first one. Okay,
well,
where do I click, guys?
Here, I did it.
Okay,
good.
Yeah, no,
Thank you. I'm going to go silent now too then.
Is this Joanna, my partner, my accountability?
Yes,
partner?
it is. Hi, Sherry.
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 Hey, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody. I want to remind everybody, are we recording, Knolly?
We are not recording, but we are live on YouTube.
Oh, we are live. Oh, we're going live on YouTube. I love it.
I'm testing going live on YouTube because I saw
What's
somebody
up,
go live on YouTube this week. What's up, YouTube in the house?
YouTube. We're so excited to see you all on YouTube. This is so awesome. Leaders are leaders. I hope you guys got your Successful Listings book.
Oh yeah, I'll be right back, guys.
Chapters 1 through 10.
I got mine, baby.
Yeah, I just got through chapter 5.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna kick it off. I'm gonna go ahead and start recording. But yeah, live on YouTube is fun. Well, why not?
I love it. I love that we're on YouTube. That's a great idea.
Okay, we are officially live and recording. And this is Knolly Success Coaching with my co-host, Arttemis Kasane. Arttemis Prime is better known as. And we're here for you. We're here for your success. Normally what we do is we have a very structured call for mostly our group right now is real estate agents, but if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, a business leader, an author, trainer, coach, or even a public speaker, or a real estate agent, of course, this group is for you. You know, we teach mindset and a whole bunch of other stuff. And this is something that actually started in the midst of COVID. And we're just excited to do God's will and help other people succeed. So today, what we decided to do, typically we do a specific topic. I'll share a topic and then Arttemis will take over and kind of really bring the energy up and take over from that perspective or from that point. But today we decided that actually what we were supposed to do today was not have a call, because on the months when there's 5 weeks, sometimes we'll not, but we decided let's do a Q&A call. So that's why we're here. And I know some of you guys, let me change this, are already queuing up your questions. So if you have a question for me or Arttemis about your business, about what you're doing, your trajectory, it could be about really anything business related. You know, Tony Robbins says the quality of our life can improve when we improve the quality of our questions. And sometimes, and this has been very true of me, sometimes it's not just like, how am I going to pay my mortgage payment? You know, that used to be the kind of question I would ask when I was younger, when I was in my 20s. How am I going to make my mortgage payment this month? And instead of, you know, maybe a much bigger question, you know, that I could have been asking, how am I going to get that jet plane? You know, whatever it was. So just bear that in mind. You know, you guys have us for about an hour, maybe a little longer. So throw at us your best questions. What is plaguing you? You know, Arttemis, we actually got a lot of questions around what to do in the midst of COVID. And it's very typical that agents want to change their entire strategy around an event. And this is what I've been preaching since the beginning of this. You know, I've actually did I did a 7-part video series that you can see on YouTube. And I did 2 other videos about how to deal with COVID. So that's already covered. I don't know that we necessarily really have to go into detail about that on this call because we've already done it. Typically, there's a video out there for it, right, Arttemis? You know, if somebody has a question, I say, I got a video.
Yeah, and for those of you who have not joined the Facebook group yet, you can access Knolly and I there on the free Facebook group, Knolly Success Coaching on Facebook. And I'm going to go through a little bit of house cleaning first, Knolly, and then you can jump in with questions.
Yeah, sure.
So on the private Facebook group, let me do a quick screen share at Knolly's Success Coaching. Knolly and I have created 3 units that are very powerful for helping you get more stuff done in less time and really help optimize how you're going to succeed in your real estate business and in any business. And so in unit number 1, we have doubling your productivity by cutting through the noise. This is how to really clear the distraction and overwhelm of technology and get focused on what really matters. So make sure you're all doing these units. Unit number 1 is really powerful. We've gotten a lot of praise on this unit. I've been following this practice for about 3 years. And then unit number 2 is click on next unit right here. It takes you to success with listings. And that unit, unit number 2 is where you can download all of Knolly's free resources. And so make sure you're taking advantage of these free resources for your real estate business. And then unit number 3 is our accountability partner program. We just heard 2 accountability partners on the call today, and get someone here to hold you accountable. Now, I have my own accountability partner, Sam, up in Michigan, and our meetings have been powerful. Like, we meet 30 minutes, we check in, and I'm getting so much more stuff done. We're just by having Sam in my life 30 minutes every Sunday. And it's so cool. Like, we pray over our business, we talk about our business, we hold each other accountable, and it's really, really important part of your success is to get that accountability partner. And I'm looking at a question here from Lisette.
Yeah, Lisette's asking, and I'll throw this one to you, Arttemis. He says, when Arttemis says simplify your life, a response to one of my comments in the Facebook group, what do you mean by simplify? Can you expand on what simplification might look like?
Well, I'll mention another book. So in the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, which is a great read if you're overwhelmed.
I'm going to go grab a book while you do that, Arttemis.
Yeah. Leaders are readers. And one of the things that is the most challenging thing to do is to change behavior. And so we got to make baby steps as we succeed in our business. And the reason I created the digital hygiene program in unit number 1 is because you become what you focus your attention upon. And a lot of people have their attention is too scattered. And so with all the different emails and texts and notifications and gurus and teachers and phone calls and all the different things that aren't moving the needle in your life, when I say simplify first, just clear the noise and distraction out of your email and your smartphone. And then what Gary recommends in The One Thing is 4 hours a day uninterrupted on The One Thing. Now, The One Thing is going to be different for each entrepreneur and agent, depending on where they are in their business cycle. So like if you're just starting out in real estate, like me, for example, I'm, building my database, launching KV Core, 2 hours of lead gen every day. I'm doing, my one thing is really, lead and conversion. Like in chapter 5 of the Success with Listings, which I'm reading right now, Knolly talks about the 4 cycles, capture the lead, incubate the lead, and convert the lead. That's 3 of the 4. I'm missing one of them. So simplification requires that we're actually able to clear enough of the noise in our life so that we have 4 hours a day uninterrupted to work on lead gen and business opportunities. And I'll challenge us on the call today. How many of you have 4 hours of uninterrupted time for your business? And if you don't, then you may need to simplify your life a little bit to get there. Starting with unit number 1, digital hygiene, then moving into effective time blocking, and then learning how to protect that time block really, really, really well. All right, we got lots of comments in here.
Yeah, let me piggyback on that too, Arttemis, because I think that's great what you just said. So this is a book that I read in my 20s by Elaine St. James called Simplify Your Life. 100 Ways to Slow Down, and enjoy the things that really matter. Now, this is at a time, you know, when I started my first company, my first business. I had 14 employees. I had 18 artists on my record label, and I was doing it, man. I was in there. I was hustling. I was grinding. I was making moves. I was on my trajectory. I was on my way to the path of success. And what you have to do from a simplify your life standpoint. Now, some people truly, and Lisette, this may be you. You know, some people out there are not busy enough. Like they don't have enough, right? Like they're not on purpose. Okay. So what Arttemis is saying is simplify your life is about stepping back and realizing what really matters to you, what's important to you, because everything else is a distraction. Okay. Everything else is a distraction. And there's another book out there called Tyranny of the Urgent that I read in my 20s also. Now that book talks about the whole concept that most people spend the majority of their life doing things that are urgent. Okay. But the reality is that you've got to spend the time doing things that are important. You know, urgent is the 80%. Important is the 20%. Okay. And so, yeah, simplify is real. And Arttemis and I both live very, very simple lives. Very simple lives. The best way to live. Best way to live. All right. Good stuff, guys. Yeah. Oh, Lisette says, Knolly, you said it. She's like, I need to be busier. Yeah. And we get that. We get that too. We get that. All right. So yeah, and a lot of people do prefer to be busy, but again, busy doesn't equate or is not synonymous with successful, and it's not synonymous with doing things that are important. You know,
I have something to add to that too, Knolly. I'm a big teacher and proponent of conscious language and speaking what you choose to have come into your life moment to moment with feeling and alignment in your hearts. And I've been in Mindset Mondays, I've been talking a lot about gratitude and gratitude journal and writing down your gratitude. And you'll notice that as I'm in the videos, I'm speaking a certain way. I'm using prayers, decrees, affirmations to help program the subconscious mind with positive prayer, affirmation, and decree. And there's an upgrade for busy. It's productive. You know, so you say, I prefer to be busy. How about try on, I prefer to be productive, highly productive instead of busy. Because busy sometimes may not have the right feeling in your word choice. So use the words that my teacher would say, leave on the movie screen what you would have ring true forever. You know,
yeah.
As you speak and as you share and as you teach and as you,
yeah.
Well,
Troy Theo, my buddy Troy, what's up, Troy? Troy is saying that he likes the book Eat That Frog, and that's another really, really, really good book. I think that's by Brian Tracy, and that book, the premise of that book is that you do that, you basically eat the frog, like you do that one thing that's the hard thing, and you get that out of the way for the day, like that call that you know you need to make. Do that first, okay? Get up, eat the frog, and then enjoy the rest of your day. It's a good book. Okay, so another comment, Arttemis, did you see the one from Sherry?
no, go ahead.
Yeah, she says that in my book, Success with Listings, in chapter 3, I talk about what do you want. Real estate might not be what some people quote want, but it can be a path that leads to what you want. So let me talk about that because and we're taking a diversion, Arttemis, from conscious language.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. We're taking.
There are times when conscious language doesn't apply, such as in marketing.
Yeah. So, you know, for those of you guys that know, you know, Bob Stevens' work, the word want is not even conscious language. You know, scripture says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Okay. So the child of God really has no wants, has no needs. All those things are fulfilled. But that's when we're getting into the quantum field and quantum realm. So in chapter 3, I've got a section called Setting and Reaching Your Goals. And then in there, I talk about what is success. Now, here's what most people think success is. Most people think that success is what they do, okay? And in reality, success, not phonetically correct, but is who you be, okay? We're human beings, not human doings. And when you look at your purpose, when you look at your ultimate greatness, okay, it will boil down to not a specific thing like I was put in this world to be a plumber, or I was put in this world to be a doctor, or I was put in this world to be a particular thing. See, that's in Western society, that's how we interpret things. But that's a little too specific. The reality is, if you were put here, for example, to be a caregiver or to help people, and this is what in Roger Hamilton's work, which Arttemis teaches, wealth dynamics. That's why I say every person in the world needs to have a flow consultation. Okay, it changed. You know, I've done the disc profile and all that stuff. I've taught it for 20 years, but the flow consultation, that takes it to a whole new stratosphere, because then you understand who you be, and you can take who you are and apply that into 500 different things. Okay. And so then what that becomes is, if you're in the real estate profession, it becomes that as you express yourself through your real estate career. Okay. So in other words, real estate is not a calling in and of itself. Real estate is a conduit. Write this down. Real estate is a conduit. Okay. A conduit for you to flow and channel your passion. So whatever your passion is, you can look at real estate as a conduit to it. So for example, myself personally, I have more of an engineer's mind. So when I went to a listing presentation, I'm not a salesperson. You know, now people would say I'm a great salesperson just because I've learned all these different techniques, but I'm not a natural salesperson. Okay. Remember, time on the task over time beats talent every time. Okay. So when I would go in, I would actually do a presentation to the seller, and I would show them why I'm their absolute best choice through a presentation style. Okay. Which by the time I was done with my presentation, the husband and wife said, we're going to hire this boy. We're going to hire him. We want him to do the job. Now, someone else that had a different skill set could have just come in and said, look, like somebody like Troy Thiel, he just comes in and said, look, I'm Troy Thiel. I'm the best guy for the job. Here's what I got. Let's go. Let's sign here. You see, he doesn't have to go through the rigmarole because he's got a different set of skills, right? So I just want you guys to understand that you do not have to, whatever your passion is, whatever your purpose is, you can channel that through many different things, many different professions. Okay. So when you find out your purpose, don't think that it's like, oh, I got to leave real estate, or I got to start going over here. I got to go to Africa and do this. No, you can do whatever your purpose is through anything that you do. Okay. Just want to make sure that that's clear. Vicky says, be, do, have. Cool. All right. What we got, Arttemis?
No questions as of yet. I want to remind everyone to really be in the habit of books and audios every day, 1 hour a day after you've done your lead generation. At some point in the day when you're taking a walk or driving in the car, in the kitchen, you know, mindset training is really important right now to keep our thinking positive and on point and on purpose. And so you want to have your head in audios every day. That really keeps your vibration high, especially if you get, you know, bad news or something shows up in your business. One of the most powerful success habits is books and audios every day. And not just any of books and audios, the right books and audios, the ones that have a lot of universal teachings and principles in them. One of our favorite audio programs we like to recommend our masters is Your Wish is Your Command.
Oh, you sure you want to go there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was in prayer this morning, and that's what God told me to really share with our group today in between questions is books and audios every day. Books and audios every day. Books and audios every day. Leaders are readers. And sometimes we have our head in social media or YouTube, and we're listening to the wrong people.
Yeah.
We're listening to the wrong people, and we're getting a half truth. And here's the thing, guys. Success with listings is not a half truth. Success with listings is the whole truth about how to be successful with listings after Knolly did 10 years of business. And so a half truth plus a half truth equals a whole lie. And if we're listening to the wrong people, or we're listening to the wrong audios, and we're getting half truths, we're muddying our mind with half truths.
Yeah, you know, Arttemis, as you're saying that, I'm reminded of, I used to teach a lot, I've been a Bible teacher since I was 18, and I used to teach about the enemy, that old serpent of old, the devil. And I would say, when you get a little bit of falsehood, it's like KoolAid. How many of y'all grew up making KoolAid? Come on now, talk to me, talk to Uncle Knolly.
1 cup of sugar.
But listen to this. KoolAid is 2 quarts of water, okay, and 1 cup of sugar and a little packet. See, I still remember the recipe. I ain't drank KoolAid in 20 years. And a packet, listen to this, a packet of KoolAid. Now that little packet is what we call falsehood, okay? Just imagine. But before you put that in, all you've got is sugar water. It's got sugar water. But now you put in that little tiny packet. I mean, it's like maybe not even a tablespoon and it just changes the whole thing. So what Arttemis is saying, what Arttemis Prime is putting down is that what you have, you might have 2 quarts of sugar water. That's the truth. Boy, it's sweet, it's nice, it's good. But when you start mixing a little bit of half truth, a little bit of falsity in there, now you got a whole different thing. It's no longer what it once was. So I like that. That's really good. Hey, we're getting some comments on YouTube too.
Oh, great. Any questions?
So I'm monitoring that.
Okay, good.
Michelle says she's been scattered. She's been real scattered lately, so she really appreciates this. And then Michelle's also saying she's looking for a San Antonio accountability partner. So Michelle, if you're looking for an accountability partner, make sure you go to the Facebook group. By the way, for those of you that are watching, I haven't said this yet, but if you're not part of Knolly Success Coaching, you need to join. It's absolutely free. You can go to knolly.com. You just fill out the information and you join Knolly Success Coaching. We have a weekly success call, just like we have right now. We have a lot of online training. We have a support group right there on Facebook, and you get an accountability partner. So you get all that stuff. Knolly.com is where you want to go. So just jump in there, Michelle, check out unit number 3, and then put out there for your accountability partner, and you will get that. Mina Slaughter says, hit me up, Michelle, because Mina's in San Antonio. Okay, there we go.
Oh, great. Yeah. See,
What's
ask,
up?
you shall receive.
You shall receive. Yep.
Lisette says, I agree that your career, whatever it is, can be a conduit for our purpose. How does one thread their purpose and their value proposition? Is it as simple as caring, lifting others up? Don't most of us here want to do that? Is that a value proposition? How do we thread our purpose into our value proposition?
Yeah, so the way that's a little bit more advanced, and I write about it also in this book right here. I write about a very strategic way, and I think that's in chapter 7. Let me look here. This is a great question, and actually I have a video where I teach this. I'm laughing at myself because I got videos. I looked up.
He's got a video for every question.
Yeah. So this is, if you have my book on page 150, it says anchoring your goals into a higher purpose. Okay, that's page 150. Anchoring your goals into a higher purpose, and this will teach you exactly how to do what you're asking. Okay, this is basically where you become mission-based, purpose-driven. Okay, and your company is mission-based and purpose-driven. Okay, and so just the long and short of it is, if you, for example, if you wanted to, let's say you're a real estate agent and your goal this year is to sell 40 houses, and you know that for every 5 homes that you sell, you're going to be able to donate a wheelchair to a wounded warrior. Okay, so then the math is that you'll be able to donate 8 chairs. Okay, because for every 5 closings, you're going to donate 1/5 of what it costs. So let's say, I hope I'm not going too fast for some people. You might have to rewind this when it comes out on tape. Just kidding. But let's say it's $800, $800 to provide, or let's say it's $1,000. Make it round numbers. It's $1,000 to provide a wheelchair, you know that for every closing that you have, for every sale, you're going to donate $200, okay, to that cause. So that means for every 5 deals, you'll be able to provide 1 wheelchair, okay? So that means if you're going to do 40 deals, okay, this year, if it's $1,000 and you provide 200 and you got for every 5 closings and you're going to do 40, that means you can purchase 8 wheelchairs, okay? So instead of having a goal of selling 40 houses to doing 40 deals, your goal becomes something completely different. Your goal now is, I want to provide 8 wheelchairs this year to wounded warriors. That's my goal, to provide 8 wheelchairs, okay? Now, in order to do the 8 wheelchairs, obviously you've got to do the 40 deals, okay? But now when your messaging changes. So when you go to people, you say, hey, I'm looking to provide 8 wheelchairs to wounded warriors, and here's their story, and here's how I can help. Now people are bending over backward to send you referrals of people that they know that need to buy and sell, because they know it's going to this cause. And so when you get into the book, that's the short answer. But when you get into the book on page 150, I basically share with you how to create a whole system around that, exactly what scripts to use when you're calling people to get your supporters behind that concept, that idea. And so now, so it's a whole system that I put in here so you can understand this. So now, instead of saying, hey, I want to do 40 deals because I want to make 400,000, because I want to buy that new Cadillac and buy that new house, that's no longer your goal. Your goal becomes more altruistic, if that makes sense. So hopefully that helped answer that question. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback on that. Cool, good. Yay. Cool. Let me see.
You mean it's in the book, Knolly?
Oh, it's in the book. It's either in the book. I got a video for it too. I got a good video of that.
I know, it's like, I've become very teachable as one of Knolly's agents since I became one of Knolly's agents with Successful Listings. This is a really good book. So I've been getting
So someone else here on YouTube, we got somebody asking what to do when there's more to do than hours in the day with no rest, okay? With no rest. So here's what you got to understand. By the way, I write about that here, okay, as well. That's in chapter 3. Every single individual on planet Earth has 168 hours a week, okay? Every single person on planet Earth. At one time, I knew I could quote you how many seconds we had, all that stuff, but we have 168 hours. There's no difference, okay? Whether you're talking about Ping Jun, who generates $1 million a month, or you're talking about the guy that makes $1,000 a month. It's the same amount of time, okay? So not having enough time is a time management problem, an issue that is a personal issue, okay? Remember, we get compensated, okay, in direct proportion to the value that we bring to the marketplace. That's classic Jim Rohn. So if you're billing out at $10 an hour, that's because the marketplace has placed a certain value on what you bring at $10, okay? And you're willing to accept that. As you bring up your value to the marketplace, okay, as you become more unique, okay, and your value proposition becomes more compelling, okay, people start to pay you more money, right? That's the reason why a cardiologist makes on average about $153,000 to $156,000 more per year than a general practitioner, although the cardiologist works 30% less. Let me say it again. The cardiologist works 30% less, makes over $150,000 more than a general practitioner. Why? Because a general practitioner, anybody, you got them, they're out there, okay? But if you're a cardiologist, you're sought out, you're relevant, and you're in demand. Write that down. You're sought out, number 1, you're relevant, number 2, and you're in demand. Okay. When you're sought out, relevant, and in demand, your fees go up. Okay. That's when you can start charging $100 an hour, $250 an hour, $750 an hour, $1,000 an hour, $2,500 an hour. I was talking to a gentleman just recently who bills out at over $100,000 per hour. And guess what? I didn't call him, he called me. So, you know, I wasn't about to pay that kind of money, right? So here's what you got to understand. If you don't have enough time in the day, then you gotta hit the reset button. Everybody know what the reset button is? Just write that down. I need to hit the reset button because you're doing something wrong. Uncle Knolly gets his 8 or 9 hours of sleep every day. Okay. I don't miss no sleep now. You know, I'm getting my beauty rest. Y'all see what it's doing for me, don't you? Hey, you know, I eat good. I spend, yesterday, for example, I did yoga for 30 minutes. Okay. I worked out for 1 hour. Yeah, I'm trying to get these guns up. They're not quite there, but I'm trying. So I worked out for 1 hour. Okay. I hung out outside for about an hour. I read for about 2 hours. Okay. I did dance. I like to dance. So I have a dance class that I go to every day. It's 20 minutes. So I did that. And I did a whole bunch of other stuff, you know. I actually helped a guy. I spent quite a bit of time with one of my mentorship masters, who's one of my celebrity agents. He's launching a whole new product. So I spent 3 hours. 3 hours. Yeah, Mina, that's your guy. I spent 3 hours with him, helping him to craft his offer, his product. Wasn't helping me. I'm helping him to craft his offer. He's got a phenomenal product for Facebook, you know, helping realtors get Facebook leads. Guys a whiz at it. So we're creating a product around that. Okay. I'm helping him do that. So when you look at it, my personal time, I spend 2 hours, okay, every day in lead generation. The rest of the day, I can do whatever I want. You know, it was kind of a standing joke with Gary Keller, because I was recruited to Keller Williams by Gary, and I would go in his office. His office was like in the basement. And it was kind of a standing joke. It was that basically everybody thought Gary was so busy. And when I went over to international, there was like 150 agents upstairs working like crazy for Gary. And they thought Gary was busy. And Gary was just sitting in his chair with his feet up on the desk, just dreaming up new ideas, just coming up with whiteboards and stuff, just dreaming up new stuff, just coming up with ideas. That's all he was doing. And most people have the assumption that a successful person gets more and more busy, and that can be true, okay? But we got a lot of broke folks. We got a lot of poor folks out there. And by the way, there's a difference between poor and broke. I hope you know what the difference is. But we got a lot of broke and poor people that are so busy with what, okay? You know, it's ridiculous. So you got to hit the reset button. Sorry to go so long on that one, Arttemis, but if you
have something to add to that too.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I created unit number 1 in the Facebook group. Step 1 is identify your goals. Step 2 is unsubscribe from the emails, the gurus, the teachers, the strategies, the techniques. Unsubscribe from all that stuff that's not moving the needle. And this is where we really get to practice discernment. You know, discernment is more important than knowledge. And we have so much knowledge on the internet. Sometimes we don't know who to listen to. And then we start chasing all these different shiny objects. And then the nervous system gets in a pattern, like a groove of got to, have to, must. I got to get up, check the email. I got to get up and go study. I got to watch this YouTube video. I got to learn Facebook, got to learn LinkedIn, got to learn Instagram. And then you're not getting anything accomplished. So look at your goals for your real estate business, and then listen to Uncle Knolly and join our Facebook group and follow a mentor in a community that's all centered around a system of proven success. One of the reasons that a lot of people don't get into overwhelm is they're not listening to the right people. This goes back to who do you listen to? And your wish is your command. Who do you listen to in your real estate business? Listen to someone who has what you desire and has been where you are. And so if you know your real estate goals, you know where you want to be, plug yourself into a mentor and a community of support that gives you a container around the half-truths and the noise, and just plug in to what we're doing here for about 1 to 2 years. And then when you get to 50 deals a year and you have leverage income and you're no longer chasing leads and leads are now chasing you, then you might branch out a little bit. And so it's not just about focus, it's also about who you listen to. and making sure that you're listening to the right people, and then you have a mentor and a community around you, because this is the container of success that's required today in today's culture. Go ahead, Knolly.
Yeah, so thank you, Arttemis. Good stuff, man. So for those of you that are new, that are just coming in, you're just checking us out on YouTube, you're like, and you might be like, man, is this all they're doing, is just answering questions? Well, we've reserved maybe once a month where we do answer questions, but typically we're in here just straight giving the content. So be sure that you attend these every single week. Arttemis and I do these at the same time every week. Now, let me show you one other thing too, to piggyback on that. I have on page 19 of my book, Success with Listings. It's called A Day in the Life of a Successful Listing Specialist. Okay. Now, this is obviously for somebody in real estate, but no matter what career you are in, this is a great sort of a template, because I like I get that question so often, what should I be doing every day? Okay. So I tell you, 6 to 7 personal growth. Okay. That's like meditation, reading, and prayer. 7 to 8:30 is to prepare for success. Then from 9 to noon, okay, lead generation and prospecting. Now, I'm giving you guys a pass and saying 9 to 11, because I know a lot of people just don't do it from 9 to noon. They fall off. At noon, you eat a healthy lunch. From a 1 to 5, that's when you go on your appointments. Okay, that's when you go on your appointments. And then 5 to 6, you wrap up and prep for the next work day. Okay, so that's what a healthy day looks like for you. And the whole purpose, this is on page 19. The book is 380 pages, something like that. No, 430 pages. Oops, that's my other book. It's 380. This is 430 pages. So just 20 pages in, I'm telling you what your day should look like. And the whole rest of the book is geared toward helping you to get a day that looks like that. Okay. So if you're working too much, you're not following the recipe. Okay. Somebody says, hey, man, I got your recipe on making a chocolate cake, and I did everything, and it's been in the oven for 5 hours, 6 hours. No, you didn't follow my recipe, because my recipe, that cake takes 35 minutes. Okay. Otherwise, you didn't follow the recipe. So if you're working more than you should, you're not following the blueprint. That's what's going on there. Hey, I love your wish is your command. I don't usually present that to people, Arttemis, but if the Holy Spirit told you to present it, I mean, I say I do present it to them, but I wait, like, sometimes they've been with me for like a year before they get that one. So
yeah, there's so much good principles in the first 4 lessons.
I agree.
That when I listened to your wishes, your command, and read the book list, I had doubled my income in about 2 years. And I really had to humble myself. Humility is something we're all learning right now during COVID, because maybe we weren't where we wanted to be with our SOI in our real estate business. Maybe we weren't where we wanted to be in our savings. Maybe we weren't where we wanted to be in our finances. And now we're having to kind of go back to the basics. And that requires humility. And your wish is your command. The first 4 lessons have such powerful basics and fundamentals. Who do you listen to? What's your teachability index? Where are you on the training balance scale? And where are you on your 4 levels of learning? And I had to listen to your wish is your command 3 times before I got consciously competent with those 4 basics. And then now I'm unconsciously competent with them. And a lot of the things that Knolly and I teach come through repetition and listening to these powerful teachers teach the basics and fundamentals, and then applying those basics and fundamentals until we become the basics. And then you become unconsciously competent. And so we're all at different levels in our business cycle. And so having these principles gives us a lens of truth. Remember, a half truth plus a half truth equals a whole lie. The 4 basics will be true now, they'll be true 100 years from now or 1,000 years from now. So there's truths that are so universally, powerfully true that when we know them and become them, then they really start to give us leverage in how we learn and how we grow. And another reason I created unit number 1 in Facebook around digital hygiene is to clear enough of the noise and distraction so that you could learn better. And you can learn with more ease by not having so much noise and distraction coming in your life, because how we learn is more important than what we learn. And then having that that time to read successful listings every day. This is something I've been time blocking in the morning now, just getting up and reading the book, so I can complete the chapters for my accountability partner that I'm going to meet this Sunday.
Yeah. There's a couple comments coming in. One of them is, who wrote the book, Your Wish is Your Command? That's actually an audio series. And I actually have a link to it. It's on YouTube. Now you can get it on YouTube now. So but that is a conference that Kevin Trudeau put together. Arttemis turned me on to it after he became my coach, and he charged $10,000 to be at that event. It's a 2-day event for $10,000. What would you say was the value of it for you would be, Arttemis?
$100,000.
$100,000. Yeah.
It's probably worth $100,000 in training.
Yeah. If I spent $100,000 on that training, I would feel like I robbed, like I got a bargain. You see what I'm saying? It's phenomenal. And then someone else was asking, and you can answer this, Arttemis, but there is more than work alone: house, family, errands, etc. I talked about what a person should be doing from the time they wake till about 5 o'clock. What would you speak to that, Arttemis?
I was in session with one of our agents doing a flow consultation, and I reminded him the importance of having your health first.
Right.
And so the 5 priorities of life and pristine focus are God, your body, your family, your business, and your community. And you put your connection to the Supreme Being in prayer time, meditation first. And so however we connect to Source and God, that comes first and foremost, because all life, love, and energy comes from Source and from God. And then the body temple. So like after that time in thanks and prayer, and then we start to feed the body in the morning, and that's hydration and good nutrition. And then it's making sure that our house and our home, our family is covered, and then business. The challenge is when we start to prostitute ourselves and we start to put our business before our family, or our business before our body. And then that's when we start to create errors along the path. And not only does our body suffer, but our business suffers. So sometimes you require a coach or someone to help you look at where are your priorities in life. And let's put your priorities on what's really matters, which is your health, and then get your business to the next level, because your health is to the next level. And I can tell you, in my coaching with Knolly, when I found him 4 years ago, may I share the story, Knolly? Oh, you're muted.
Hold on, before you do that. So it's God, health, or is it God?
God, body,
health, family, business, community?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can share any story. All the angels and the heavenly hosts know everything anyway.
Yeah,
there ain't no secrets.
We're all transparent here today.
Absolutely.
So about 4 years ago, I met Knolly Williams through a good friend of mine, Matthew Lehman, who's one of Austin's top realtors here in Austin, Texas. And I sat down with Knolly and I did an iris analysis and a really advanced form of healing through iridology. And one of the skill sets I learned how to read the body through the maps of the eye. And I looked at Knolly's eyes, I found his strengths and I found his weaknesses. And I knew Knolly was an entrepreneur, but I knew he was also a little stubborn. He wasn't really ready to make the change that he needed to make to be the man he is today. And I asked him, so Knolly, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Now you ask most common men and women that question, and they don't have a clear answer for you. But because I knew Knolly was an entrepreneur, and because I was trained in mindset, and I had, Jim Rohn and Wallace Wattles and Napoleon Hill, and I knew the importance of vision and goals, and I knew Knolly had some goals and dreams. And I asked him, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And man, he said, I want to have 100,000 people on my email list. I want to have mastermind groups all over the world. I want to be writing books and traveling and teaching and impacting millions and millions of people. And I'm like, wow. And then I asked him a very important question. I said, do you have the health to get you there? There was a long pause. And he said, no, I don't. And now he does, because of my coaching, because of how I helped him. And so sometimes it's the quality of the questions you get asked that determine the quality of your life. And just being able to ask Knolly that vision question and then ask him a very powerful decision point. Like sometimes we got to make a decision to do something different, and it's not always easy or comfortable. And yet your coach is gonna ask you that question one day. And that's why we all need a coach and a mentor, is because that question is gonna come up, and then it's gonna change the trajectory of our life. So going back to priorities, like Knolly had put his business first, had been working his business, but had not been taking care of his body temple during those years. He'd kind of gone numb and neglected his body. Now he generated all this success, but he had some health issues and some things to address in his body temple. And so, Knolly started to put his body first. Him and Josie started to do some healing work and cleaning up their lifestyle. And now they're just totally on fire with God and purpose and serving life. And they're eating our original diet of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds and sprouts and sunshine and clean water. And if I didn't show up in your life now, like 4 years ago, there's no telling where you would be today.
Josie says, Arttemis, you met Knolly through me.
Through Josie, yeah. Well, technically through Matthew Lehman, then Josie. And then,
Matthew Lehman. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Matthew Lehman, then Josie, then Knolly.
Then Josie. Yeah, it's a stack. Yeah, it's so true because, my health has always been like, I didn't care. Man, I'm eating cheeseburgers. I don't care. I'm doing, and so I always tried to be a little healthier, only because Josie would point out the importance of what living a healthier life, and it was amazing. So when I saw what the breakthroughs that Josie got, I was like, sign me up. I want and I always thought of myself as a very healthy person, relatively speaking. You know what I'm saying? You compare yourself to other people. But the reality is, from where I told Arttemis, I said, I want to reach 10 million business leaders and entrepreneurs. I'm going to be speaking in stadiums. I'm going to be speaking, well, maybe not, I don't know when those will open back up, but I'm going to be speaking in large groups of 10s, 20, 30, 40,000 people all over the world, Beijing, you name it. God's going to have me out there. And that's what I see. Like, it's not even what I desire. It's just what I've been shown, that's my thing. Like, that's, unless I decide that I don't want to go in the path that God has placed me here in this realm for, but that's totally like my trajectory. And so Arttemis has helped me get to the health level to where the stamina, I mean, I feel better than I did when I was 20 years old, and I'm 50, and with my wife, he was able to share with her the principles that allowed her to decide to get off of six medications. Okay. When, she was diabetic, she had high blood pressure, and this was all stuff due to taking care of her mother, who had Alzheimer's. She did that for 7 years, and it took a toll on her body. But after just shortly, I think within 9 months of meeting Arttemis, she was off of every single medication. I'm telling you, man, it was, and I love you, Arttemis, for that, man. A lot of people don't know that part of that part of the story about you, is that you really saved our lives in a sense of, from the trajectory of where we were going, because, man, we couldn't even go to certain, like when we would travel a lot, and we couldn't even go to certain hotels because Josie's back killed her. Like, she could only sleep on a certain mattress and things like that. It was tough, man. But now, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, like, it's just like a clean slate. And that's when I was talking about hitting the reset button. A lot of us, and it's okay. It's okay to do that, So I appreciate that, Arttemis. I love it.
You're welcome. And to tie it back together to universal laws and universal truth, a lot of what I shared with Josie was based on 18 years of just science and research and experience working at 3 different clinics. And I've learned the universal laws of health. I've learned how God heals the body through living water, living foods, the living word. And Josie had some gaps. She'd been listening to so many half-truths that the half-truths were clouding her mind, and she didn't know who to listen to anymore or what was true. And a lot of you agents right now have been experiencing that in the hustle and the grind of your business. And when you get into successful listings at an unconscious competence level, you know what you don't know when you get through chapters 1 through 10. And then you go, okay, I'm going to be teachable. Your wish is your command. I'm going to have a higher willingness to learn what Uncle Knolly is saying. I'm going to have a higher willingness to accept change by removing noise and distraction. And I'm going to do what Knolly says is true in this book. And then you move from unconscious competence to conscious competence. And you become consciously competent, SOI, farm, and niche, and doing the two. And then you get to 40, 50 deals a year, and then you become unconsciously competent. But it all started with the truth. It all started with things that work, universally true. And what I shared with, and I'm just tying it back to our business, but it works for health too, guys. It's like there are things out there in scripture, in holistic health, and in business that are based on universal laws. It's just unfortunately, most people aren't teaching those very well today because they're not people to listen to. And so you have to be very careful who you listen to. And then when you get those universal laws dialed in and you become the law, then there's no question what to do to succeed in health or to succeed in real estate.
What'd I say? Did I said something wrong? Here's Josie. Here's Josie, y'all. You can talk. I got to unmute it.
Is it on?
Yeah.
But oh.
It's a
I'm
delay.
listening.
YouTube has a delay.
Oh,
YouTube
'cause
has
I'm
a delay.
listening here. Who's talking? Hey guys.
You're talking.
So yeah, so Arttemis helped us. By God's grace, we were able to, I was a caregiver for, actually Knolly said 7 years. It was 23 years that my mom lived with us. And she had Alzheimer's the last 10 years of her life here on earth. She has transcended. Now she's enjoying heaven somewhere. And so anyway, but yeah, it's so important to take care of your body. Make God first in your life because God is above anything, very, very important. And take care of your body. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So take care of your body. Enjoy watermelon, which is my favorite, but enjoy fruits, vegetables, elixirs, herbs, all kinds of stuff. Spend time meditating, being quiet, spending quiet time with yourself. And listen to this, guys. My beautiful Pete and my beautiful brother Arttemis are amazing. Follow what they teach you. Arttemis, I thank you. My life was changed because of what you shared with me. And I thank you. And I will always, forever be grateful to you. So guys, just enjoy life. You know, just take one day at a time. Stop and smell the roses, like they say. So I am outside a lot of the days. This morning I was out in my backyard taking pictures of my beautiful flowers. And so I just love being outside, just enjoying nature, the sun. But make God first above anything else. Make God first in your life because without him, you can do nothing. And so just enjoy life. Enjoy this, guys, and God bless you all. So it's my first time here on YouTube, Facebook. I'm not even sure where you all are at, but I'm headed back outdoors to enjoy the sun because that's what I love.
She watches the thing. Look, she's.
So I was listening.
You're on YouTube?
Here, I don't know. I was.
Thank you so much, Josie, for sharing your testimony. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you.
All right. So. Man, that one. Whew. You gonna take it, Arttemis?
Yeah. So
I gotta cry a little more here.
This is a really, really powerful testimony today, and there's so much more available to us when we have a mentor and a coach, guys. And in our last Facebook Live we did last Thursday, Knolly really talked about the importance of having a mentor, someone who can really be there for you and guide you in your business or in your health. Or with your finances, or wherever you're lacking God's health, God's supply, God's abundance, God's beauty. Bring a God-directed mentor and coach into your life who is really has their training and their background in universal laws, universal principles, and you'll know when you see them. You'll know by how you feel in their presence. And
yeah,
Knolly got
beautiful.
Nolly got a little choked up there, which I love seeing you cry, Nolly, because it's important to be vulnerable and to express our feelings at times with others, for sure.
Yeah, especially when, you know, she started talking about her mom, man, that gets me, because
Yeah. Yeah. And I really believe that God brought me in your life. I mean, and here's the cool thing is Nolly's paying it forward now. Nolly's teaching me real estate and teaching me how to succeed in real estate. So I'm receiving tenfold what I shared,
yeah.
you know, as a health coach. And you know, we're all students and teachers to each other.
Yeah, who would have thought? Look at this, look at God's sense of humor. Because who would have thought when God sent you to us, it's such a crazy story. We don't even have time to share it, but who would have thought that we would be business partners?
I know.
Mean, when Arttemis, here's the truth, guys. When Arttemis came to my house, I didn't even want to meet the man. Okay. I did not want to meet him. And y'all know I'm a nice person. I'm not mean or anything like that. But I'm like, okay, here goes Josie on another one of these health things and another, you know, spending some more money on something else. Right. And, you know, I in the past, I had a hang up about money. So I was like, okay, how much is this dude going to cost me? You know? So I heard Josie having her consultation in the kitchen, but I wouldn't even go out and meet him. And then when I heard, you know, you can kind of hear as a husband, you can kind of hear when the session's kind of winding down, like you can hear the chairs move, and I knew he was on his way out. So I said, let me be courteous, because if I don't at least go meet him, I'll probably never hear the end of it. Like, you know, I wasn't gracious or whatever. So I just went out to shake his hand and just say, hey man, thanks for coming over, get out. You know? And the Holy Spirit, I could see the Holy Spirit in him. And I said, man, this guy, he's the real deal. So then I booked a session for myself, iridology. And then it's just been life changing. And then I hired him as my coach. He's been my coach for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah. And we're really just here to help people, man. I mean, we like making money. You know, we like making money just like the next person, because that's how God fashioned us, because we're entrepreneurs. But we really like helping people, because the money that we get, see, here's what scripture says: store up for your treasure, okay, not in earthen vessels where moth can eat it up or where rust can destroy it. Don't store up your treasure there. But if you want to store up treasure, Jesus said it in Matthew chapter 6, he said, if you want to store up treasure, store up your treasure in heaven, where moth cannot eat it up, where rust cannot corrupt it, okay? And because where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And we realize that, and that's why when we give back, we send it on ahead, okay? It's just like putting money in the bank. Every time that we help somebody with one of these calls or one of these sessions or one of our coaching things, we're putting it in the bank, okay? It's called the bank, First National of Heaven. And guess what? One day we'll be able to cash it, you know? Now, we don't 100% do it just for that, but Jesus said, store up your treasure in heaven, so why not? You know, we love doing this. So
yeah. And what chapter of Matthew was that, Knolly?
That's Matthew chapter 6.
Matthew chapter 6.
Matthew chapter 6. Yeah.
I'm going to read that chapter today. So, yeah, so much good nuggets of gold here in this Q&A session. I'm really enjoying this. And thank you all for your questions. They've been really, really great questions.
We had an hour already. Dang.
Yeah. It's been a great Q&A session. And where do you go from here, Knolly? What do you recommend everyone do from here?
Yeah, from here, I mean, I know a lot of people are really struggling with just how to have this life in balance, and how to, it's like, yeah, Knolly, we hear what you're saying, and Arttemis, I hear what you're saying, but I remember there's a little clip on It's a Wonderful Life, where there was a run on the banks, all the banks were closed, you know, the bank was closing down, and people had their money in the bank, and this one lady, she says, I got bills to pay, I need money now. So we realized that that delicate balance, you know, in needing the now money. If you have to hustle and grind, and if you're at, we'll explain this to him later, but if you're at ultra red, like what is it, ultra red?
Oh, infrared and red. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're at infrared level, that's where you basically are going day to day, you know, day to day, month to month. There you go. So we'll stay after class for just a little while. So some people are at infrared level, then some people are at red level. Infrared is the victim, red is the survivor. Orange is the worker, man. You hustling, you grinding, you out there, you getting that. Yellow is the player. Now you playing the game, man. You're in the game. You're a top agent. You're a top performer. But then guess what? You build a team. Now you got other people out there hustling. Now you're a green, and now you're the performer. You're the performer. Now you get a point where you say, you know what? I'm a great performer, but now God's got me on stages all across the country, and I'm reaching tons of people, and I've got 6 different businesses. Now you're the conductor. Okay, you're the conductor of your business. And it goes all the way up to indigo, violet, ultraviolet. And what Arttemis and I are trying to do, this is our mission, this is what God has mandated us to do, is take, thank you, Arttemis, for that, to take you guys from infrared and red all the way up at least to green. Because when you're in green, the kinds of questions that you guys have will change. Mm-hmm. They'll change, okay? You'll be like, well, how can I get Tony Robbins to call me? Not how can I call Tony Robbins? How can I get him to pick up the phone and call me? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and whatever the trajectory of your life is, realize when you came here, okay, you came here with a tool bag, and God has equipped you with what you need to accomplish the mission for which he sent you into this realm. Okay. You're not a victim. You are not a victim. Okay. You chose to come here. We'll save that for a whole nother topic, but you chose to come here. Okay. God sent you here. He says, I knew you before I placed you in your mother's womb. God intimately knew you. You pre-existed. Okay. You chose to come here, and now you can't blame nobody else for your circumstances. You take control of your life. Okay. You take the bull by the horns and you move on up the ladder. You move on up the ladder without excuse. So what I was saying is, at the beginning, you might have to put the grind on, but you realize that's temporary. You know, you might hustle and grind it for 90 to 120 days, but at some point you want to move into a smooth lateral position where you attract. Okay, you attract. You don't try to hustle and get. Okay, you don't try to hustle and get. So
and Knolly and I will be doing a class on the Wealth Lighthouse from Roger Hamilton as it relates to real estate agents and doing the right things in the right order so that they know the steps they need to take to move from red to orange. And then there's different steps for an agent to take to move from orange to yellow. And then it's a paradigm shift from yellow to green. Each level is a paradigm shift where you're actually having to think and act differently. And guess what? It's not intuitive. None of success in business is intuitive, which is why we need a mentor, a coach, and a system. So somebody's asking if you can put that back up. They need for their inspirational wall. We're going to put that on Facebook. I'll put it
when the time is right.
I'm going to upload the Genius Test on Facebook, and I'm also going to upload as unit number 4, and the Genius Test. I'll upload the Wealth Lighthouse today for all you guys and gals. And there is a better way. And even if Knolly says you have to hustle and grind, that's because you didn't know what you didn't know. And you're unconsciously incompetent with the basics and fundamentals. Some of you guys are catching up with the basics. And so you're in a hustle. That's okay. As soon as you get consciously competent and you start getting success with listings, then we got more training for you. Definitely got more training for you. We got
it. So where we're going to go from here, I'm going to be rolling out what I teach my mentorship masters, which is the 8 pillars. You know, we talked about this a little bit, and then the 4 bodies. So you can expect that on the next 8 calls, I'm going to dissect every single one of these pillars. Okay. So you guys can get your game right and tight. On the back of this, I kind of spell it out what these are. I call them the 8 pillars and the 4 bodies. Okay. Somebody else asked Arttemis how they can get in touch with you. So, and that's on YouTube.
Yeah. Just private message me on Facebook. Just Arttemis, Arttemis, on Facebook, and you'll find me there. I'm the only Arttemis with 2 T's.
I say ArtemisPrime.com, baby.
Yeah, and ArtemisPrime.com too. You can go to my website, ArtemisPrime.com, and you can get in touch. That's Arttemis Prime, Prime.com. And that's for your flow consultation. That's for you to get out of the hustle and into flow and to learn your zone of genius, learn what to say no to and what to say yes to, and how to get in that pristine state of focus and freedom and flow that that really Knolly and I are here creating the #1 success mastery system in real estate, combining the laws of spirit and God with the laws of business. And we're going to be bringing that into multiple systems, giving people the right information in the right order. And it's about a 5-year project, and we're excited. And we're excited that you're all here, working with us and growing with us. Like, man, I love all of you, every single one of you. I love you. I appreciate you in my life. I'm learning some of this stuff with you, and I'm teaching some of this stuff with you. And what's so cool about all of you being here right now for Knolly and I is you bring out our A game. You bring out the best in me, and you bring out the best in Knolly. And we all need each other, guys. It's like one of the greatest paradoxes of personal development is that you got to do it on your own, but you can't do it alone. You got to do this on your own. The inner work, the inner game, that's between you and God. And yet you can't do it alone. You need a witness. You need a coach. You need a mentor. And so I wouldn't be the man, Knolly would not be the man he is without all of you. And remember that all of you matter in your community as an agent. All of you matter in your family as a mother and father. And you put God first, and you put your body second, you put your family third, and you put your business fourth. And when you get those priorities in order, especially God first, everything's going to work out during this COVID crisis. Some of us need to heal that fear into faith. Some of us need to heal that doubt into trust. Some of us need to heal the grief of loss into joy of having. And that's why we're here, because the mentor, the systems, the community, it's what brings the faith. It's what brings the trust. You can trust in this 100%. You can trust in this. If you have doubt, you're not going to heal the doubt until you trust. And you can trust in this. And I love you all. And thank you for being here. And we're going to be here again next Thursday.
Thank y'all. Hey, we know your time is so valuable. We appreciate you. We thank you for spending time with us. God bless. Make it a great rest of your Thursday. Bye.
Bye, everybody.